Here's something to do today. I'm going to ask you to strive to be kind. Strive to be the first to nod. Strive to be the first to be kind, to compliment, to smile. Strive to forgive. Be the first one to do all of those things. Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. This is a 1 hour long practice. I practice every single day, live, start to finish, no cuts. So it's really, really real. It's just like being in a real classroom. That's our secret niche to this yoga. So every day is different, every practice is different. Some days we do vinyasa, some days we do a yin yoga, some days we do yoga plus, which is with bar and Pilates and hand weights. That's on a Friday. And today is all down on the mat. We're not gonna do any balancing, we're staying down on the mat. But the biggest thing to do is to show up. That's important, to show up. And as the bottom of the screen says, do what is right for your body, your one and only body. And if you can't stay for the whole hour, so what? It's only yoga. Don't take it too seriously. You stick around for just 10 minutes. Do what feels good. The idea is to stretch and move a little more every single day. You've got to stretch. You've got to move. You've got to find that full range of motion so you can stretch and you can move and you can do things as you get older. Do things off of your mat. Lets you live your life. Your yoga lets you do what you want to do the other 23 hours of the day. Life is here's the word for the day. Life is a journey. Journey. See, it's live. I'm telling you, it's live. Life is, imagine the word journey. There we go. Life is a journey. And a journey means passage or progress from one stage to the next. Think of it as good. It's all good because you're on your journey. Everybody's unique. So don't hurt your body. If your body hurts in any of these poses, don't do them. Take it to a lesser percentage. Just let it go. It doesn't matter. It's only yoga. But enjoy the journey because you are a work in progress. We're all a work in progress. We're never going to be perfect, right? That's why we call it a yoga practice. You just practice every single day. Every single day, stick with it. All right, so that's it. Your success in this practice is going to be determined by how well you navigate those changes that are necessary, those modifications that are necessary to do your practice. Just don't give up. That's too much of a pep talk. Let's move on to talking about our props we're going to need today. 2 blocks. I'm already seated on one of my blocks. Got my knees bent and I've got a block right here behind me. I'm having a seat there. Good. She went to her bed. All right, so have a seat in a comfortable position. Lock in a stress number. Here are the props you need. Stress number, scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. How are you feeling right now? Lock that number in and have your props nearby. A couple blocks, a strap. We are going to use a strap today. If you don't have a strap, have a belt to your robe. Water, you want to have that. A little yoga towel is handy to put under your knees or to cover your eyes for Final Shavasana. And my favorite prop of all is the eye shade that you use for Final Shavasana. All right, so come into this comfortably seated position. We're all down on the mat today. No balancing, no getting up. Just be here. That's the most important thing. Now, if you don't like this pose, if it's too much on the knees or it feels uncomfortable, send your legs long or sit crisscross applesauce. Do what feels good for you. Let the past go. Let all your expectations go. It doesn't matter. You just only have to begin. Take that first step. All right, so I'm in this, we'll call it a modified hero's pose. Knees are deeply bent. I'm going to turn. So you can see I'm going to sit on this block. It's at its stable height. You sit however you like. So no rush, no hurry. Just sit here and put your hands on your knees and let's do some neck work. All right. So for your neck, let's just think about it. So the knees are working too, and your ankles are getting a nice stretch here. Close your eyes. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Soften up in your shoulders. Take a big breath in through your nose and a sighing breath out through your mouth. Make it audible. Let the tension go. This is your hour. Just time on your mat. Maybe you stay in this pose. Maybe you're in your Final Shavasana pose. Maybe that's where you want to just lie on your mat. It's all good. You just work on calming your spirit. All right, so for our neck work, let's just turn our head from left to right. Eyes can be opened or closed. Deep breaths in through the nose. And sighing breaths out through the mouth. You're turning your head just comfortably, just the way you normally turn it. Maybe take it a little farther. To help, take the turn, the shaking of your head in a no position. To help turn it a little farther, maybe take your 2 peace fingers. I'm going to take the peace fingers of my left hand, place it on the outside of my left jaw, and just turn my head a little bit more to the right. Those peace fingers, a gentle nudge there, help me turn my head a little bit more. Eyes can be opened or closed. If your eyes are opened, do some eye yoga too. Let your eyes look to the far back of the room. Head back to the midline of your body, maybe turn it in the other direction, and then take your hands on the opposite thigh, 2 peace fingers. Give your head a gentle nudge as you turn in that direction. All right, do it a couple times in each direction, using the peace fingers or not. Just really try to find a little bit more of a twist. Don't hurt. If it hurts, don't do it. Don't go so far. I mean, it's just kind of common sense. You don't want to hurt yourself. Take this to what's right for you. Bring your head back to the midline. Now turn left to right without the assistance of your peace fingers. Bring your head back to the midline, lift your shoulders up, squeeze them up towards your ears, and then squeeze them to the back of the room, and then let them slide down into your shoulder blades. Do it again. Shoulders up to your ears, back to the back wall, slip them on down. Maybe do it a little bit faster. Up, back, and down, just kind of in a fluid motion. Up, back, and down. Be strong in this. Nice squeeze of the upper back. Ooh, nice job. Now do the awkward pose here. Squeeze the shoulders up, hunch them forward, roll them down. Squeeze them up, hunch them forward and down. Feels awkward, doesn't it? But just move the shoulders. Let it feel good. Now come back to a neutral position, shoulders over your hips, tee out your arms and draw some arm circles here. Let it feel good in your upper shoulders. You know, a little bend in your arms might feel good, or maybe like you're washing the windows to the sides of your room, whatever feels good. I'm gonna point my fingers and really get into my shoulders. And draw some big arm circles to the back. Draw some big arm circles toward the front. Strong arms, strong shoulders, good head on your shoulders. Let's place our hands down on our thighs, lengthen up through the crown of your head, scrunch your shoulders up one more time, then release them on down. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Float your head around on your shoulders. If it feels good, do it. If it doesn't feel good, lengthen up through the crown of your head if it doesn't feel good. Just let your head move around on your shoulders. Maybe your chin tucks to your chest a little bit. Maybe your chin goes up to the sky. Just move your head, whatever feels good. Because you know what? I mean, have you even done this today? I mean, you know, have you even moved your neck this much today? Look to the left, to the right, nod like yes. Chin to the chest, chin to the sky, turn to the right, turn to the left, nod like you're saying yes over your left shoulder, nod like you're saying yes over your right shoulder, head back to the midline and just move your head little by little. Come to a resting position. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Lift your arms up to the sky. Interlace your fingers, send your palms up to the sky. A little bend in the elbows might feel good. Start to sway from side to side. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. Sigh it out. Just move a little bit here. Feel the nice gentle side bends. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let your hands come away, place them on your low back, squeeze your elbows back towards your spine so you feel your chest opening up. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet, maybe look overhead, maybe look even farther. When you're ready, slowly work back to head over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Take your hands, place them down on your mat, walk them forward. Walk them forward, slide them forward, just bend forward. So you think like you're going into almost like an extended child's pose position. So scoot your hands forward, sink your tailbone back, still stay seated on your block. Push into your hands, let your head hang heavy and shake your head. Left and right, just move your neck. Slowly come on back up, shoulders over your hips. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. All right, place one hand. I'll place my right hand onto the mat. I'm gonna lift my right arm up to the sky. Feel a big stretch in my right side as I lift. Then I'm gonna take it to the side. So that gentle palm tree pose we did a moment ago, ooh, this is even more intense. You've got your right arm down on the ground. Maybe bend your elbow a little or a lot, so you can intensify this stretch in the right side. Keep your bottom down though. Keep your chin away from your chest, and that top shoulder, bring it back to the back wall. Nice big stretch here, no rush, no hurry, you got it. And then come on back up to the midline nice and slowly. Lift both arms up. Take a little baby back bend, look up to the sky. And then fingers go back, up, up, up. And then the left hand comes down. Right arm reaches high to the sky, and then come on over to this side. Ooh, same thing, keep your bottom cheek down. Keep your keep your right shoulder, the top shoulder back, and the chin away from your chest as you reach and stretch here. I don't know how far you're going. You decide what feels good. Maybe put a bend in the elbow because you want to take it deeper. It's all good. And we are all works in progress. Isn't that the truth? We're works in progress. And we are masterpieces all at the same time. Yes, you are. Chin away from the chest, shoulder back, breathe, stretch. Come on slowly back up to the midline of your body. Lift both arms up, up, up to the sky. Take a deep breath in. Soften your shoulders, deep breath out. Now take those two arms that are reaching up to the sky and have them reach to the front of your room, parallel to each other. Cross the right arm over the left, give yourself a big hug. Reach your fingers towards your spine. Your shoulders are going to inch up towards your ears. Let them settle down. As the shoulders come down away from the ears, now expand the shoulders to the side of the room. So nice big hug here. Just feel the goodness in your back. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, release that hug. Right arm was on top. Lift your arms up high to the sky. Stretch it out. Those arms, work them parallel to each other toward the front. Now let the left arm come over the right and the right arm come underneath the left. Work your hands towards your spine. Work your shoulders down. Work your shoulders out to expand to the side of the room. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Big hug. Always nice. Release your hands down to your thighs. Look to the left, look to the right, and just take a big twist here. Maybe as you're twisting from right to left, you take your hands and put them on the outside of the thigh to the side to which you're twisting. So use that little bit of leverage to increase your twist. Look over your shoulder and then back to the center, then twist to the other side. Just a couple little twists back and forth. Do it a few times. Take it as far as feels right. Just explore what feels right. As you take a deep breath in, you're lengthening through your spine. And as you take a deep breath out, maybe you can deepen the twist more. And there you go. Come back to the midline of your body. Are you feeling better already? Is the stress number coming down? Do you feel like relief of tension in the shoulders? We're going to do more with the shoulders in just a bit. But right now, let's remove this block and come into a child's pose. I'm going to take an extended child's pose. So maybe spread your knees a little bit or a lot. You know what feels good. Bring your big toes to touch. Sink your hips back to your heels. You can use a block here to place it under your chest, under your forehead, or no block at all. Or maybe you push the block all the way to the top of your mat and place your hands on it. Do what feels good. Do what feels right. It's all good as long as it feels good in your body. If it's uncomfortable or it hurts, if it hurts, back out of it. If it's uncomfortable, just settle in and breathe through the discomfort. Big breath in, big breath out.
Maybe close your lips now and breathe in and out of your nose as you find focus in your body. Just be still here for a little bit. This is your time on your mat. Don't rob yourself of the peace, of the joy. You've taken the time to be here. Truly be here. Be present in this moment. Everything you got to think about, you'll remember it and you'll come back to it when we're done with the mat. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. As you breathe in, think of your lungs expanding out your back to the sides of your room. And as you let go and exhale, let all the air go. Let your belly button come back towards your spine and feel your tailbone lengthen to the back of the room. Let's take this a little deeper. Maybe your hands are on your mat or on your block. I'm going to take mine off. Maybe spread your knees a little bit wider, keeping your big toes touching. Sink your hips back to your heels and breathe here. So we've gone from a child's pose to a tadpole, then we're going to go into a full frog. So in your child's pose, maybe it feels super good today and this is the pose in which you want to stay. Totally fine. I'm going to work my toes a little bit away from each other and come into that frog-like pose. Ooh, I really feel that stretch in my upper inner thighs. Lengthen through your spine. Appreciate the mobility and flexibility you have, whatever it is. And know that if you keep coming and keep trying your yoga, it'll increase. And the opposite's true too. But we're going to focus on the positive, doing your yoga every day. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go. All right, let's come out of this pose now. Slide your arms closer to your body so your hands are going to be under your shoulders. Bring your knees in, come to a neutral tabletop. In a neutral tabletop, your knees are under your hips. Your shoulders are over your wrists. You're going to lengthen through your spine here. Lengthen through your spine, and we're going to do cat-cow. So think of your back as nice and flat. Breathe in, breathe out. Press the tops of your feet into your mat. Tuck your chin to your chest. Tuck your tailbone under and arch your back up to the sky. Inhale, cow. Tailbone lifts and your crown of your head lifts. So just keep moving your spine in this C-like the letter C, posture. No rush, no hurry. You let it feel good for you. Tuck your tailbone. Bring your belly button to your spine. Inhale, cow. Tailbone lifts up to the sky and the crown of your head lifts. So we're moving your spine. So important to move the spine. Finish in your cat-cow. Let's lengthen the spine. Extend your right leg long. Draw your right toes towards your shin. Press into the earth and extend your left arm. Push into the earth and find length. Find as much length as you can in your spine. So you're gazing down towards your right thumb. That keeps your neck nice and long and straight, in line with your spine. Heel is driving to the back of the room. Drive it even more to the back of the room. Lengthen through your fingers. Hold it. Push into the earth. Left hand comes down, right knee comes down, other side. Lift your left leg up, knee to hip height, extend the leg long, draw your toes towards your shin. Dial your left hip down so your hips are equidistant to the mat. Extend your right arm long, reach, stretch. Imagine getting longer and stronger and taller in your spine. Strengthen and lengthen. Stretch. Soften, hand comes down, knee comes down. Take a cycle of cat-cow. Chin to your chest, tailbone under. Inhale, cow, lift the crown of the head and the tailbone. One more cycle, cat, then cow. Neutral tabletop. Extend your right arm long, extend your left leg long. Reach through that same bird dog pose we did a moment ago. Stretch. Hand comes down, knee comes down, left leg extends, right arm extends, reach. Stretch, push the earth away. Hand comes down, knee comes down, cat. Then cow. One more time, neutral tabletop, right leg extends, left arm extends, reach, stretch through your bird dog pose. Stretch. This is the last one, so make it super long, super strong. Hand comes down, knee comes down, right arm reaches, left leg reaches, stretch. Super long, super strong. Hand comes down, knee comes down, cat, and then cow. And then finish in a neutral tabletop. Extend your right leg long. Press the ball of your foot into the earth. Stay right here if you like. Perhaps lift your right leg, bend your right knee, kick yourself in the bottom here. Take a cat pulling its tail, or stay right here. I'm going to lift my left arm up, reach it around, and grab my right foot. I'm going to kick hard into my hand while I press hard into the ground. I'm going to look to the left side of my mat, to the left side of my room, over my left shoulder. Knee comes down, hand comes down, other side. Left leg extends, press the ball of the foot into the mat, push into your hands, be strong. Lift the extended leg up, bend the extended knee, kind of kick yourself in the bottom. Stay right here if that's what you want to do. I'm going to try and take my right hand, reach around and capture my foot. Hold the foot, kick into the hand, open up through the right collarbone, and twist and look to the bottom right of the mat, to the side of the room, or over my shoulder. Nice twist. When you're ready, hand comes down, knee comes down, cat, followed by cow. Nice job. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let's come down to our bellies and do broken wing. All right, so you're gonna lie on your stomach. Extend. I'm gonna extend my left arm first. I'm gonna reach it out to the side of the room. I'm gonna bend my right arm, place my right hand under my right shoulder. I'm gonna roll onto my left hip, and I'm going to stretch out my left shoulder. All right, head can be on a block, head can be on your mat. Push into your hand to intensify the pose even more. Press into the bent arm, the right arm, to intensify the pose even more. And if this is uncomfortable for you to be on your stomach or you don't like the pose, here is an idea. Here's what you can do. You could go back to that hugging yourself position. Totally fine. All right, I'm going to bend my top leg, my right leg, and I'm going to place the sole of the foot in front of the extended left leg. If you like that, go for it. Send the knee high to the sky, push into the foot, and enjoy. Maybe you prefer having both knees a little bent, like a bit of a fetal position. Totally up to you. You can keep the legs long, bend the one foot in front of the extended leg, or bring it behind. Try to drive the knee more up to the sky as you incorporate the whole body into this broken wing pose. All right, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna send the legs down. I'm going to roll onto the other side, and I'm gonna extend my right arm long. Now it's up to you. Maybe a little bend in the wing, because it's like a bird wing. The wing feels better. Maybe bringing the arm down or up or whatever. Just play with it. There's no right or wrong answer. Well, there is a wrong answer. The wrong answer is if it's hurting you. That's what you don't want to do. So you get comfortable and extend the opposite arm. Roll onto, I'm going to roll onto my right hip because my right arm is extended. I'm going to take my left hand, I'm going to bend the elbow and place it under my collarbone. I'm going to press into the mat here and just enjoy this deep stretch. You don't have to do anything with your legs. Let the legs relax if you want. And what feels right for you. Maybe the top leg bends and you bring the sole of that foot down onto the earth, driving the knee up to the sky. Ooh, that intensifies it. Or bring it in front of the extended leg and do the same thing. But you don't have to intensify it. All you got to do is find what speaks to you today. And I think the hardest part about that is accepting that, believing that, saying it's okay. It's okay to not take it to 100%. You do what feels best in this moment. When you're ready, roll back onto your belly. Place both hands under your collarbone. Press on up into a seal pose. And then come on to your knees. All right, so I'm asking you a question. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How are your shoulders feeling? We're going to get back into the shoulders with a plank. So the idea is For a plank builds strength. Oh my goodness, does a plank build strength? You know that, because when you're in a plank, everything feels tight. Everything is totally engaged, and that's what we want to do. We want to engage everything we've got. And we all do that in different ways. Maybe you want to lie on your back, send your hands up to the sky, and imagine that the ceiling is the ground, and you want to push your hands up toward the sky, imagining that you're in a plank. Another way to do it would be to come to that neutral tabletop, but send your knees a little further back, and send your arms a little more forward, and hinge forward, and hold here, pressing your arms away into the ground, and just finding strength here as most of your strength is in your upper body here. You could stay on your knees, or you could come down to your belly. That's totally fine. And bend your elbows, placing your elbows under your shoulders, and your forearms are on your mat. You could take like a Sphinx pose here. You could gaze down your nose and feel the compression of your low back. You could tuck your back toes under and press on up to a dolphin plank. Or you could take a high plank. Totally fine. All of these variations are really good, but you got to find what works for you. All right, so I'm going to come to a high plank, shoulders over the wrists, legs go long on your mat, and you engage your core. Press into the balls of your feet, and Dwayne's going to set a 1-minute timer for us. Here we go. There's a timer on the screen if you want to time yourself. Totally up to you. So in a high plank, your arms are shoulder width distance apart, getting into those shoulders again, and your feet are hip width distance apart. Look down there. Mine need to be a little bit wider. Press into the earth, lengthen through your spine, and timer. We're 20 seconds in. So you stay as long as feels right for you. Take little breaks when you want them. You could drop to your knees for a second or two, then get back to your plank. If you're in a high plank, you could send your hips high and come into a downward facing dog for a second or two. It all feels really good. We have 20 seconds left. Push into the earth and make it work for you. Core is strong. Belly button is drawn towards your spine. We have 10 seconds to go. Push into the earth. You've done harder things than this. Stay strong for the last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Come on down and take a big breath. You did it. Just think, because you're getting older, I don't have to be as strong. Yes, you do. As you're getting older, you need to improve and increase your strength. We lose strength, we lose muscle mass by 2 or 3% a year after we reach about the age of 35 or so. Keep at it. Oh my goodness. Keep working. Don't give up. Don't quit. Let's go into a pentacle. All right, maybe you grab a drink of water. It's all good. Have your strap kind of near your hips. Come on down and take it slowly. Hands to prayer center. Come on back to fully reclined. Take your pentacle pose. What is that? Arms come into the shape of a letter Y, and then your legs spread, and you bring your body into the shape of a capital letter X. Breathe in, breathe out. You know, it's the simple things like this pentacle pose that you really appreciate. You appreciate it after you've done the hard work. It feels so good to rest in this pose. This pose allows you to realign your body. Just take a breath or two. Let your pinky toes fall toward the edges of the mat so you externally rotate your hips a little bit. So big breath in. And a big breath out. You have got it going on. Breathe in and breathe out. All right, float your arms down by your sides and bring your body up to a seated position. Keep your legs spread wide and press into your hands, or no hands at all. Press on up to seated. All right, totally fine if you use your hands. Don't be hard on you. But just try something a little different, right? So see if you can. Your core is strong. Use it. Like when you're seated in a chair, don't use the arm rests on the chair so much to get up. You got strong legs. Think about it. Let that get into your head. That's your homework assignment. Try to stand up out of a chair without using your hands. Your core is strong. Your thighs are strong. You can do it. All right. It's little by little we lose things like our mobility if we don't keep up with it. So keep up with it.
2 blocks between the legs. Maybe legs spread good and wide. Maybe toes up toward the sky. You decide. Maybe a bend in the knees feels good. I'm going to bring my forearms down to my blocks. Your blocks have many heights. Adjust them so it feels right for you. Just hinge a little bit forward. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Think of your hips, the movement in your hips. Just tip your torso a little more forward. Let it feel good. You don't have to stress and strain to get your head to the blocks. Maybe bring the forearms to the blocks. Let your head and shoulders relax. Maybe it's your head and shoulders that you rest on the blocks at whatever height feels right. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Soften the shoulders, maybe wiggle the shoulders, maybe wiggle your bottom a little bit. Soften the shoulders, breathe. You've got these blocks, they're all different heights. Maybe you can lower them a little bit, or maybe you say, nope, I'm not lowering it, I'm bringing it back to the way I had it. Totally fine. Who's to judge you? Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Slowly bring your head up off of the blocks, shoulders over your hips. Keep your legs spread nice and wide. And let's come on back to fully reclined. Your legs are spread wide, hands to prayer center. Slide on back. All the way back, all the way down, and recline. Now bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet to touch. We're gonna take that little goddess pose. All right, soles of the feet are touching, knees are open wide. Take your arms and cactus them out. So your forearms are parallel to the top and bottom of your mat. You've got your backs of your hands on your mat, and you've got your forearms are parallel to the sides of your mat. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Your arms are like a goalpost here. Stay right here if you like. If you want to do a few little sit-ups, let's bend our elbows even more, bringing our fingertips to our temples now. Knees are open wide. As you exhale, let your chin go up a little bit to the sky, but keep your elbows open wide and your knees open wide. Inhale as you come down. Little lifts, little lowers. Exhale up. Inhale down, elbows and knees open super duper wide, and you're lifting and lowering, squeezing in the low abs, feeling the strength, the power, because you got it. As you're ready, come all the way down. Draw your knees together at the midline of your body, and the soles of your feet are on your mat. When you're ready, lift your legs up off of the mat, bringing your knees over your hips and your shins parallel to the sky. Now here you can feel your tailbone plugged into the mat. So don't roll your tailbone forward like you're in cat pose. Think of cow pose as you bring your tailbone down. For this bicycle pose, start to straighten one leg, then bend the other. You can keep your hands on your hips if you like. Bring your fingers lightly to your temples if you like. Peel your shoulders up if you want. All of these are layers if you want. And then bring one elbow toward one knee, then the other elbow toward the other knee. While the other leg, sounds like you have 3 legs, while the other leg extends. So one leg extends and the other's twisting with the elbow going toward the knee. Then the opposite's happening. So breathe and ride your bicycle here. When you're ready, extend your legs long, flat on your mat. Extend your arms high overhead. Stretch and reach. Point your toes. Find length here. Remember bird dog? How we stretched, but we drew our toes toward our shins in bird dog. Remember that? And we let the heels drive to the back of the room. Here we're doing the opposite. Toes are pointing, pointing, pointing. Fingers are reaching, reaching, reaching. Stretch. Remember those intercostal muscles, the ribs, when we stretched it out in that
palm tree pose. And in that deep stretch to the side, in that seated position, we are stretching it out here as well. Stretch. You have length, you have space, you are strong, you are tall, you've got it. Stick pose. Let's go into our boat pose with a strap. All right, find your strap. Let's get there in kind of a fun way. So you got your strap near your waist. Bend your knees and place the strap underneath your feet, the center of your feet. Send your legs high up to the sky and hold on to this strap like reins of a horse. Hug your elbows in, send your feet higher, higher, higher. Put a little bend in your knees. Stretch the legs. Pull the strap a little bit toward you as your heels are up toward the sky. Breathe. Let's come into our boat pose this way. Think of your heels as heavily weighted. Let your heels work down toward your mat. Your legs are extended. And be kind to your knees. Don't lock your legs out. Be kind to your knees, a little bend maybe. Just slowly, slowly lower the heels. And as you're doing that and holding on to the strap, you lift your shoulders up. Just think of them floating up, but you got assistance here with this strap. Take it slowly with control, rolling up with your strong core, taking it nice and slowly. Flow on up. All right, elbows are hugged in, legs are long, heels are to the front of the room, shoulders, send them back. Remember we did that earlier. We had the shoulders up near our ears. Now we're going to send the shoulders back as we did that. Then we're going to send our shoulders down. So your back is nice and flat and straight. That's what we want. Legs are long and heels are reaching toward the front of the mat. You're finding balance here. Had to sneak in a balancing pose even though we're staying on our mat. It's all good. Breathe in. Breathe out, hold it, and play with it a little bit here. Maybe lean your back a little bit further back, but don't round your shoulders. Shoulders are back. Your chest is shining forward. Maybe lower the heels a little bit and find your strength in your core, in your boat pose. Hold it here. Breathe in and breathe out. All right, slowly let your heels come a little bit closer to the earth. Find your balance. Find your balance. And then bring your heels all the way down. Lengthen up through that strong spine, strong, straight, solid back here. All those days of doing you will look taller posture are paying off. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Lengthen up through the crown of your head and then hinge forward here. Hollow out your belly. Think of your belly being hollow as your belly button goes back towards your spine and you walk your hands down both straps towards your feet. Let your gaze go towards your knees. Maybe a bend in the knees makes this feel better. Just think about what's feeling better. If you're thinking, holy cow, this is so uncomfortable, so tight. How can I make it better? Maybe a bend in the knees feels better. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, find length. Breathe out, find your depth of your pose. Slowly bring your shoulders up over your hips. Let's remove the strap and bring it on down by your hips again and come to recline. Slowly recline, maybe hands to prayer center, maybe arms are by your side, but just take it slow. Roll your spine down one vertebra at a time. Let's do You Will Look Taller. We usually do this standing, but you can do it on the ground too. Draw your toes towards your shins, so imagine that your feet are standing flat on the ground. Legs are zipped up, good and tight. Bring your arms into the shape of a letter Y. Holy cow, this is hard. Okay, so the deal is we do this standing typically, and you just raise your arms to whatever. If you want to up the challenge while you're standing, you can bring your hands to a wall if you stand next to a wall. We're here on the ground, so we're going to treat the ground as if it were the wall. Remember, we're imagining in our feet that we're standing. Bring your arms up to the shape of a letter Y. Bring the backs of your hands down to the ground. And if that's just way too much, snow angel your arms out a little bit. You can tee them out. Or take your blocks. You could take your blocks, have them at the top of your mat, and place the backs of your hands. You're in that Y shape. Place the backs of your hands onto those blocks. That perhaps is more doable. Do what you can and use those props to make it better for you. Think of them as training partners. So here you are in the letter Y for the word you. Let's bend our elbows, keeping the backs of your hands on those blocks and sliding the blocks and your hands down, 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 so your arms form the shape of the letter W for the word will. Now bring your arms down by your sides so your elbows are hugged in toward your waist and your arms, your forearms are still open, pressing into the earth. There's 2 letter L's, if you will, one forward and one back for the word look. Now tee out your arms. Press your arms strong as if they're glued to the earth with super glue. Tee out your arms, and there's the letter T for the word taller. Let's do it again with the first letter of each word. You will look taller. Remember the super glue to the backs of the hands. It's really hard lying down, isn't it? Because you're really pushing those hands back. One more time just to get it into your head. You will look taller. So we typically do that standing. But you can still get a really, really good yoga practice, a nice good stretch while doing it on the ground. So there's your reclined you will look taller. Let's go into a brief pentacle. Arms go high, so they're kind of like in that letter Y again, but the legs spread so you're in that letter X shape. Let your pinky toes fall to the earth. Take your letter X. Stay here if you want, or let's come into a banana asana. To do that, heels come together so your legs are at the midline. Arms go high overhead. Reach and stretch like you're in a stick pose. Take both feet and bring both heels to the bottom right corner of your mat. Lengthen through your fingertips and then stretch and work your arms, your fingertips toward the top right corner of your mat. So the best cue here, I think, is to say, if you were, hovering above your body, 5 feet above, looking down on your body, you would bend your body to look like the shape of a banana. A little bit of a curve. Left hip stays down, left shoulder stays down. You take this curve as much as feels right for you without compromising the left cheek coming up or the left shoulder coming up. Just stretch it out. Everything back to the midline, stick pose, re-energize, reinvent, reinvigorate, and take everything to the left. Heels to the left, right hip stays down, lengthen through your fingertips, arms and fingers to the top left corner of your mat. Keep that right shoulder down, keep the right hip down. Stretch, reach, lengthen. Heels back to the midline, fingers reach long and strong to the top of your mat. Stretch. One more time. You know this now. Feet to the bottom right corner, hands to the top right corner. This time we'll intensify it. Take the right hand, grab the left wrist, and pull that wrist a little more to the top right corner of your mat. Feel the big stretch in your armpit here. Keep that shoulder down and keep the hip down, but just pull with your strong arm. Hands back to a prayer position. Arms reach back to the midline. Legs reach back to the midline. Stick pose. Stretch it out. Then work the feet to the bottom left corner. Work the arms and fingers to the top left corner. Left hand captures the right wrist and you pull and tug as much as feels right. Shoulder stays down, hip stays down. Feel the stretch in the armpit. Everything works back to the midline. Stick pose. This time, reach your fingers long and strong. Point your toes to the bottom of the mat and then work your toes towards your shins. Do that a couple of times. Toes point, You can point them farther. As you do that, you feel like your arms are going to stretch even more to the top of the room. Then draw your toes towards your shins. Nice, tight draw of the toes toward the shins as you enjoy and appreciate this range of motion stretch in your ankles. Toes point, toes to the shin. And there's our kind of gentle toes pose for today. All right, arms float down, relax your feet, find your strap. Find your strap and then bend your knees and place both feet, the centers of both feet, with the strap at the centers of both feet. All right, send your legs up to the sky. Hold on to the straps, send your heels up to the sky. All right, both legs are in the strap now. Let's release the right leg down. So take the right leg out of the strap and lower it slowly, keeping it long and straight. Lower it super slowly while holding this left leg up to the sky. So you're bringing your legs almost into the shape of a letter L. Take the strap into your left hand and let the left leg open up wide to the left side of your room. Keep your right leg, the one down on the ground, nice and straight and long with the toes drawn toward your shins. Work your left leg, the pinky edge side of your left leg toward the earth, as far as you want to take it. Bring the left leg back up to the sky. Big toe side, let the left leg fall to the big toe side. So switch the strap into your other hand and you're going to roll onto your right hip. Keep your left shoulder down, and when this left leg comes as far as you want it to go, tee out your left arm and look to your left. All right, play with it. This isn't hard. Head back up to the sky, leg lifts up, leg falls down toward the pinky edge side. The opposite arm will tee out and you'll look in that direction. Leg comes up, goes to the big toe side, crosses over your body, then your left arm tees out. So the opposite side to which the leg falls is where the arm goes. Bring it up, and you don't have to go very far. You take it to what feels good for you to get that hip mobility. Come on up, leg goes up. Let's switch it up. Bring the right leg up to meet the left. Hold on, elbows hugged in. Left leg releases nice and slowly. Nice and straight it is. You're holding on to this one leg. Lower the other leg, the left leg, all the way down. Toes toward the shin. The right leg is up to the sky. Let it open to the pinky toe side. And lift it up so you're doing like a little half circle over your body. Pinky toe or big toe, the leg falls to the other side. Up and down, creating that half circle above your body. And when you're ready, start to add in the arms. The arm goes out, tees out in the opposite direction to which the leg is falling. Leg opens up, the arm tees out. So back and forth a few times to what feels right for you. You don't have to take it very far. You take it to what feels good. Maybe you don't like teeing out the arms. If that's the case, just work on the hips. Just start to move that leg from left to right. It's all good. And when you're ready, let's release the strap from the leg. Let that right leg lower down slowly to the mat. Take your pentacle pose. Arms reach high overhead. Breathe in. Breathe out. Press on up or don't press up to a seated position. Once you're up, send your legs long, send your arms high up overhead, reach, stretch. Send your arms forward, reach forward and stretch, toes up toward the sky. Reach towards your toes, your ankles, whatever you can reach. Elbows hugged in, hold on to your calves or your toes and let your gaze go towards your knees. Slowly come up, shoulders over your hips, find your block or two blocks. Let's try that hero's pose. We've worked a lot with the hips today. We've stretched out the quads. Let's go. All right, so here's the way we're going to start. You can have a seat on your heels, and you can stay right here. Remember how we started and did all that neck work today? We sat on a block. So place the block perhaps between your ankles and have a seat on it. Totally fine. Maybe you put a half block, the smaller block, underneath your bottom. Maybe you can bring it down to that level today. It's up to you. That's why these half-size blocks are kind of nice. Maybe you bring it all the way down to your bottom, down to the ground. Big bend in the knees. Heels are up near your hips. You can give yourself a little foot massage. Here's where the blocks come in handy. Maybe you can bring the blocks a little bit behind you and place your hands on them. Keep your knees together and keep your knees down. Maybe you bend your elbows a little bit, or maybe you bend them a lot and bring your forearms down, down, down to the blocks. Stay right here. Let your knees be the indicator. If your knees start popping on up, take the blocks away, maybe press in your hands into the blocks, but keep your knees down. All right, knees are down. Maybe you bring the forearms down. Forearms perhaps come down, and you rest and recline on your back. Arms can go up overhead, elbows can bend like ragdoll arms, and you grab for opposite elbows. Breathe here, big breath in, big breath out, soften. Let it be. Here's your hero's pose. We'll come out of it now. Maybe grab onto your feet, little foot massage. Maybe press on up into your elbows and into your hands. Let's come out of this pose by sending our legs long on your mat. How did you do? All right, toes up toward the sky, just a little seated twist with the legs extended. Twist in one direction, placing your hands maybe down onto the ground or onto a block, totally fine, or just hold on to your upper outer thigh and twist and look over your shoulder. Back to center, nice and slowly, hands to the opposite leg or the ground or the block, and twist over that shoulder. Come back to the midline of your body, and let's bend our knees. So the left leg, we're going to extend it long. Take the right leg and bend it and bring it on up into your inner left thigh. So you got like a, I don't know what shape this would be, like a letter P maybe. Extend your left leg long and slide your hands down your left leg as you reach like you're going to tie your shoe. Maybe you're pulling up a tube sock. Breathe, let it be. Come on back up, shoulders over your hips, and switch your legs out. Other leg goes long. The other leg bends, bends, bends. You can use your hands, pull it in, maybe place the sole of the foot into the inner thigh of that leg. Turn toward the extended leg side, lean forward, hold on, reach and stretch and find your comfort zone here. Breathe in, breathe out. Slowly come back up to the midline, bring your shoulders back to the front, extend your legs long, and reach towards your toes as you bring everything back to the midline. Breathe in, breathe out, look down to your knees, and finish. Shoulders up over your hips, grab your eye shade and or your towel, and come on down to reclined. Cover your eyes with your eye shade or towel. Feet, heels go toward the bottom of the mat, pinky toes fall to the edges of your mat, arms down by your sides, palms face up, shoulders away from the ears. Wiggle the shoulders closer to your spine. Breathe in and release it by breathing out through your mouth. This is your final Shavasana pose. Being aware of just your breath and nothing else. Softening in your shoulders, your glutes, your limbs. Soften the area between your eyebrows and release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Find stillness and peace. Stay here as long as you like. You can pause on your remote control
And when you're ready to resume the practice, you would just hit play again and come back to where we are here. In this position, take a deep breath in and a releasing breath out. Fingers start to wiggle, toes start to wiggle. Wrists circle, and so do your ankles. Inhale, reach high overhead and stretch. Find length. We found a lot of length in the spine today. I hope it feels good. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Bend your knees, roll into a fetal position onto one side or the other. Use your low arms bicep as a pillow for your head and close your eyes and take a deep breath. This breath will never come again. Appreciate it. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. As you're ready, slowly press on up or don't press up. Use your core, and come to seated. Sit however is comfortable for you. Today, I'm going to go back to that position that we started with. Put the block under my bottom between my ankles. Maybe you've come to discover that that's a pretty comfortable pose. Maybe you do it more often. Hands to prayer center. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Lengthening up through your spine. You have mobility in your shoulders. You have length in your spine today. You have great flexibility and mobility in your quads and your knees. Life is good. Gently blink your eyes open. Stress number. What was it in the beginning and what is it now? I know it's a lot lower, and that's a good thing. Your yoga does it for you. You do it for you when you show up on your mat. Here we go. There's a downward facing dog. Good girl. All right. So have a great day, everybody. Remember these things. Focus on love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and the hardest one, self-control. Love you guys. See you on your mats tomorrow. Bye-bye. Hi, Piper. You're a good girl. Take care. You're still here, and I'm really glad for that. Keep this in mind. The path is made through repetition. Keep showing up, and good things will happen. You know that. I'm glad that you're still sticking around. Tell your friends what the yoga's doing for you. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody on Facebook and YouTube, and they can join in anytime from the privacy of their own home. Tell them about our practice, please. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Stay on your path, enjoy your yoga, and have a great rest of your day. See you on your mats tomorrow.